Welcome back to Llama Thrust Networks, everybody. We have a treat for you today. We have the Nissan 300ZX twin turbo. This is a 91 300ZX. And right about 96, Japan actually stopped importing them or took them off the American markets. This is the first Z car to have the V6 powering it, and they wanted to do that, especially with the wide 60-degree V6, so they could have this nice sloping front. They also twin turboed it because, I mean, come on, who doesn't like twin turbos? And without further ado, let's consult the specs.
Engine displacement 2,960 cc. Compression ratio 8.5 to 1. Max horsepower 300 or 192 llama thrust. Max torque 283 foot-pounds. 0 to 60 in 5.8 seconds. Quarter mile in 14 seconds. 60 to 0 in 106 feet. EPA fuel economy 9.8 highway and 13.1 city.
Fun fact, this is actually 50 more horsepower than the Corvette of this year, and this is also faster than the Porsche 911, Porsche 968, the Corvette RX-7, I believe. Another fun fact about this car, it's actually faster than a certain MR2 that I know someone owns. This car originally retailed for right about $30,000 and go up to about $55,000 with all the options added. The SR71 version of this, at the time that it came out, was actually one of the fastest production cars in the world. And if you take a peek here, these headlights are actually a little familiar. If you know your car history, these are actually the headlights that Lamborghini used on the Diablo. The only difference that's really apparent is there's a black stripe going right across the top here. If you take that black piece of carbon fiber trim off, it still says Nissan underneath there. Kind of cool if you ask me, that they decided these headlights are just so cool, let's not put them in a Lamborghini. Why not? A couple cool party tricks that weren't super common, especially when this car came out. This has a high capacity actively controlled steering, which means the rear tires will actually turn at about 30 miles an hour. They'll turn about 15 degrees opposite of the front tires, and it will actually predict how you're going to be taking turns. The test drivers of this didn't really like it all that much due to the fact that they weren't really getting used to the fact that the car was able to predict how the turns were going to go. Not only that, it also has adjustable gas suspensions, and on that same note, Ron Gable, the former editor of Motor Trend magazine, said at the time this car had a better suspension setup than Porsche and Ferrari. For a 91, that just kind of boggles my mind. And also, just to kind of round out this nice rear end here, we also have a limited slip differential, which, in my opinion, every car should have. The other quirk about this 91 in particular is, well, no airbags. We die like real men here. I also like that all your controls are right mounted here next to the steering wheel. You have your wipers, and you just two pods of them. It almost feels like a fighter cockpit in here. It feels a little bit like a Supra. I'm not gonna lie. I know it's not, but it is reminiscent of one. Also, just as another forward, the seat belts are on the door. So now will be the point of our video where we do the drive test on this car. Unfortunately, this is one of the examples where the person just hasn't quite had the time to take care of it, and that's okay. You know, it happens to every car eventually in its lifetime. Sometime in the future, we may be getting another 300ZX to test. I'm not entirely sure. Only time will tell. If you guys have any other comments, questions, leave them down below, and don't forget to tune in to Llama Thrust next time. Thank you very much.